Let's look at something else that makes a noise, though. Next Saturday, the Longworth Festival of Bells at St Mary's Church. And it's something of a campanologist's dream, featuring everything from handbells to the world's largest mobile belfry. The reason they're doing it, though, the bells haven't been all rung together there since 1922. Why? Let's find out. Valia is the organiser. Good morning. Why haven't they been rung together since 1922? Does something terrible happen?
Good morning, Charles. I just have to say one thing before I start, and it's actually next Sunday, so please don't turn up on Saturday. Sunday the 13th is the day for our festival.
Right, I shall bash my head with something significant. Sunday. Right, Sunday. Yeah, no, so not rung together since 1922? Why?
No, the frame, the oldest bells in the ring actually date back to 1662, and the wooden frame, the oak frame that's there with them also dates back to that date. And basically it's rotten. And I think around about the time of the war, it was so rotten they were on the cusp of giving up anyway, maybe. But when they had the First World War, the tower captain was actually killed during the war. His name, William Henry Rivers, was killed during the war. And I think after the war, there was simply no money to do anything to restore the bells, plus the fact the tower captain had been killed. Two of his brothers were left as ringers, and they just decided, I think, that it was no longer possible, and there simply hasn't been the funding since then to raise the money and get the bells restored. So
one way and another, in those sad and challenged times, the heart had gone out of it.
I think so,
financially,
yes.
physically, emotionally.
Yeah, and if you go up to the belfry, it's very sad. The bells look just, completely neglected. It's very sad up there.
Well, you said it was rotten. It's presumably not rotten now, otherwise the whole thing will fall down when you start ringing them.
No, well, the way we ring as campanologists, we ring the bells full circle. That means they go in a complete circle once they're ready to ring. Now, when you ring a bell like that, we have to just talk about forces very, very quickly, as it's Sunday morning.
Okay.
But if a bell weighs half a tonne, the horizontal weight of the bell, the horizontal forces of the bell are 4.5 times the weight of the bell. So if a bell weighs half a tonne, you've got horizontal forces pushing on the bell frame and on the walls of the tower that are equal to 2.5 tonnes. So that's a lot of weight. And where the frame goes into the wall, that's where it's rotten. It's a huge job that we've got to do to restore the bells and get them ringable again. And what we would do is actually to replace the wooden frame with a cast iron frame. And that would be done actually with a company down the road, Whites of Appleton, who've been trading. I think they're the oldest bell hanging company, continuously trading in the company in the country.
Right, so the money to do this won't be travelling too far.
No, it's nice to keep it local, but also the lovely thing is they're a very welcoming company, and we can go down and actually see the work in progress as well, which is lovely. But it's very important to get these bells done, sorted out, because three bells from 1662, still in their original state from the day they were founded. They need rescuing.
And what's all this going to cost?
It's going to cost £120,000 or thereabouts. We're still compiling figures. We've had lots of quotations and things, but that's a huge amount of money. The community itself is very small, sort of 500 or 600 people. And one of the problems is that because nobody has ever heard the bells ring, the inclination to actually even think about the bells is very little. So over the past couple of years, we've been building up people's knowledge of the bells and their support for the project.
So you can hear what you're going to get.
Yes, and there's actually a lot of excitement in the village now. And also the next village, Hinton Waldrist, it's only 1/4 mile away. Historically, it's always been linked to Longworth by the Lord of the Manor. We do a lot of projects there to give people more knowledge. We welcome people in to come and have a go, have a try, and we put on various events to tell people about church bells and about church bell ringing.
So if I were to pitch up next Sunday, what am I going to hear?
Oh, it's going to be magnificent. It's absolutely fantastic. We've got the world's heaviest mobile belfry, but bells are always, rather than the size, they're always described in terms of their weight. So there's a ring of 6 bells in this belfry set up so that you can see how the full circle ringing works. And you can have a go in complete safety. It's designed so that even complete novices can have a go and experience the feel of it. And they do sound fantastic. They will boom around, called the Chambra ring. They will boom out through the village, which will be wonderful. Then we have three amazingly different groups of handbell ringers. We have the St Denis handbell ringers from Stanford in the Vale. They will be ringing tunes and giving everybody a go, which will be wonderful. So you can come along, have a go, have a try. And they'll also be demonstrating some of the things that they do. And they're always looking for new members, which is wonderful, because if you like it, you can stay with them. We also have another group who ring completely differently. This is a group headed by Robert Newton, who used to be the master of the Oxford Diocesan Guild of Church Bell Ringers. And they ring what we call method, which is basically similar to some of the things that we ring on the church bells, where they ring their bells by pattern. It's all in their heads, and it's absolutely astounding. And not only do they ring one bell, they ring two bells, one in each hand. So it's really amazing to see if you've never seen it before. And then we got a real treat, because we've got a group of handbell ringers from Cornwall called Clechlawen. I believe that's the correct pronunciation. And they are extraordinary. They ring changes. They swap bells while they're ringing. They ring their bells as though they're ringing up and down church bells. And it's absolutely extraordinary. So we're really looking forward to welcoming them. And as well as that, there'll be things like a slideshow of the bells in the belfry, so you can actually see the condition of the bells up there.
So there's, all in all, there's going to be a lot of bells.
There is
a great deal of bells. And the outcome of this will be a day of great joy of listening to the bells and seeing how they work and so on. And hopefully you'll sign up some more people to ring them and to contribute to their restoration.
I hope so. There is one thing I will actually add to that, is that we are unbelievably privileged to have the Central Council of Church Bell Ringers sending along their Great War Memorial Book, which is such a treat. It's usually kept in St Paul's Cathedral. During the war, the Master of the Guild compiled a roll of honour of all the fallen ringers throughout the country who'd fallen, and it's been done into a beautifully hand-illuminated manuscript, and it is absolutely beautiful, and it is such a treat because it's rarely seen outside St Paul's, and for the general public to have access to it. And it's coming to Longworth, so if nothing else, come and see the book, because it is fantastic. And there's a second volume actually where the names of ringers have turned up since then. They've done lots of research, and they've actually had another book made to make sure that no one has been left out. Very poignant and very sad. All visible and audible next Sunday at the Longworth Festival of Bells at St Mary's Church. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. That's Valia Bassett, organiser of the event. 12 minutes to 8.